Hello everyone, this is Polygon Wizard. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Minecraft 1.8. Today I'm going to show you the finished off room in the basement, which is where we are right now. And I'm going to go out and start building the stables for our horses outside. So let's get started. Here's the finished look, everybody. At least as far as it stands right now. I still need to do something with the floor lighting. I'm going to figure out probably some carpeting and hide some lighting in the floor. But for now, it's still just a bunch of torches, but this is what this room has kind of turned out to be. I like the style of it, so it continues all the way across the ceiling now. You can still hear all the zombies growling outside, but we got us a nice safe enclosed room now. I left a door back here to, eventually if I want to build other rooms, I could do that, or just, hey, I want to go out into the caves. Close that door, don't want anyone getting in. So we've kind of just enclosed this a little bit. I put some stairs on the side. This is literally right up against the redstone of that machine, so I think it nests in pretty well. The only thing I don't like right now is this is just a big wide empty room and it's got tons of these pillars that I don't know that I want them all. So what I was thinking is maybe taking part of the center of this room and making a separate kind of room that's, I don't know, an office or something. I don't really need more storage, but I'm not sure exactly what to put in the middle. It's like maybe there's a good machine that doesn't have a wide footprint that might fit in the middle that would be cool, like a small farm of some sort. I'm not sure what that is yet. I haven't given it too much thought. If you guys have some suggestions, please let me know like what we should do to finish this room off. We got kind of like the overall style and we've got a whole ceiling and everything now. It's looking pretty great, but we need to finish it off, make it look awesome. I don't know. I'm going to leave this machine in here. I don't know if maybe I want to eventually fix it or not. Like I said many times before, I'm not a redstone genius, so I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. We'll have to figure that out. But it might be just as simple as doing... Well, no, that wouldn't be simple either. I keep coming up with these ideas that won't work. But I just kind of have to find a way to get the slime blocks back one block away from the cactus so they can grow, but then I have to make them extend twice. So we'll eventually figure out a way to fix this thing so we can have plenty of cactus. I think we still have the couple I threw in here. Yeah. And we've still got our ones outside, so we've got plenty of green dye if we want it for the moment. But that is pretty much all that's new inside. Other than stupid slimes still. Their spawn rate's almost too good now. I don't like it. I might have to rig up a way to turn it on and off, like, I don't know. I don't have any room in between the floors, so I can't sandwich any redstone or anything like that. So I don't know if maybe I'll just, like, place some blocks in a couple of the floors so it slows them down some. I don't know. Let's see. Is it night, daytime? Hey, awesome. It's daytime now. Sweet. Perfect. So let's head over here to the stables site. We'll get started, and then I'll cut away from you guys, do a bit of work on it, and come back. But I've already sort of started here with the framework. Like I said last time, I'm borrowing a design from BOO again, like I did in my last world. This one's a little bit different style, a little more intricate in the details, which is pretty nice. I like it. I've chosen a little bit of a different materials palette than what he has in his kind of tutorial for this one set of stables. Like with BOO's version, it's just this little spot right here that I'm walking in. From that pillar to that pillar, this is it. So mine, I've expanded it so there are 6 bays. So where I'm at right now, this grassy area will eventually be where the horses go. There'll be walls in between, and then there'll be like fence gates here, fence gates on the outside, fence gates everywhere. And they'll have a nice roof on it and kind of like an upper floor in the middle up here, which is why these pillars are taller. And his just had like kind of on the back wall ladders that go up. I can't do that if I want to walk all the way through here. So what I'm going to do is have ladders here where these temporary torches are. Can't climb nothing. And then there will be kind of like a floor up here that we can put whatever in. So that's kind of like the basic idea of the layout. Let's grab some materials from the chest. Oop, first I'm going to put these on because I will forget. And it will give me more room anyways. So dark oak wood, black stained clay. That will get me started at least. And then we also want to make some more black stained clay. Boom, there we go. Stack and a half. Might not mean that much, but we'll show you what we're going to do here. Alright, let's get some regular blocks and some stairs, some stained, and some of this. We don't need the both right now. Alright, so what we're going to do at first is to fill in kind of these walls that go right here. So I'm going to take a page out of BWO's tutorial and do it, whoops, a piece at a time here. And right there. I'm doing that extra little bit because of the way our roof goes. We'll need that filled in, so I'm going ahead and going to do it now. But this is kind of the basic shape for every single one of these walls. And then put a couple slabs in here to make the window a slightly different shape, just to be cool and rectangular. So that's just the plain old boring version of this wall. Like these two woods I love. I've used them a lot in my old world, and I'm going to continue to use them a bunch. The dark oak planks with the spruce logs go very nicely together. The colors mesh. But we want to make this more interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw a little bit of this in here. The black stained clay has a really dark chocolatey look to it. It's a lot darker than the normal just brown stained clay, which is why I went with the black. It's not an actual black, but you add black to it, so that's why the color is. Because all the stained clays keep some of that original orange look from the stained clay that's baked, or not stained clay, the hardened clay, yeah. Mixing up my terms. So what we're going to do is add some detail, like what BWO says is this is kind of like a lathe or a lattice. He says that. It's actually like a lattice or whatever with some stucco over it, and it's all come apart. It's old. So there's also parts in here maybe where something like this happens. There's a chunk out of the wall. So we're going to do a little bit of that. And let's see. I keep wanting to go to pickaxe. Why do I do that? Alright. Pick up our extras. So this is kind of the idea that's going to go through this whole thing, where you have the basic shape, but then you're using some stairs and another material. It adds a bunch of detail and depth to it. So we're going to have to do that on all of these kind of walls, and also like any of the other ones, like the big wall that's going to go here in the front. All of those will have that same sort of idea applied to it, so it gets a lot more variety and look into it, and you just kind of jumble it up. So it's kind of like making the pristine new kind of looking version and then aging it down, beating it up, making it look all, you know, a little bit older and worn, which I think is a pretty cool look. So we're going to go ahead with that. But while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and build the same thing, or the same ideas, but this is what kind of the side looks like. Do I have any of those built already? I have a couple. We're going to need a lot of spruce fence, or at least a decent amount of it, so we'll go ahead and make this. Alright, this is kind of the basics for this wall, and the roof, you know, comes in here as well, which we'll do the roof as a next stage. Like what BWO did was he kind of built like one little section and then copied it and did things that way. I'm going to do a little bit different here with you guys. I'm going to build kind of like this section a little bit, but we're going to do it more like here's the walls, and then I'm going to finish all the walls and come back, and then we'll start on the roof, that kind of stuff. Because that way I can not have to go up and down so many times, because this is survival and not creative. I cannot fly, so the fewer times I have to go up and down, the better. So like we said, this is kind of the plain version of this wall. So let's do a little bit of knocking out, and let's do the same over here, but with this side we're going to do an upside down stair and a right side up stair, so it's chunked out. And then we're going to do one on the bottom here with the clay. Something like that. Let's actually do it up here too. Whoops. And see, this is all up to personal preference for like what material you want to kind of dominate the most. If you want it to be a little more smooth, you can put a lot more of the clay in there. Or if you want it to be less smooth, you can keep it with planks and put a lot more of the stairs in there, which I actually kind of like that. So what we're going to do here is put another stair like that. Is that what we're going to do? Or another idea that you can do is if you want an actual hole here, you can have a little chunk missing. Why not? We'll do that. I like that for that one. And so what you can do is like do something different on every single wall if you want, or you could come up with a cool design that's specific that mixes these materials and do it the same way everywhere. I'm actually going to do this the other way. Boop. There we go. A little hole carved out of the wall. Something ate it like a rat, or, you know, the horses got a little rambunctious once and knocked their head a little too hard. Who knows? Whatever caused it, there's a hole now. Whee! Hi! So there's that. Then we also have in here, eventually, we're going to have fence gates in here. We're going to put fence gates in this part here. And we're going to do a little something like, whoops, it goes like this. Do one like that, but continue with the theme. I'm going to use a clay for this one just to show you guys as an illustration, and then I need my slabs again here. So that is kind of the style of the pens in here, other than I haven't built the fence gates yet, which we will do in a bit. But the nice thing that you can do is you can put a sign, whoops, a sign up there. I don't need to place another slab. You can put a sign up here with, you know, the name of your horse if you want to. Or just put a sign and it kind of breaks it up and looks cool even if it's a blank sign. So that's the main idea for the walls of this place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away from you guys for a bit. I'm going to build out the rest of just the walls down here, and then we'll start back up on the roof and the upper floor. Hey everyone, we're a couple steps closer to being finished. I've got all of the short walls done here, but we still need to do a tall wall, so I thought I would come back to you guys for that to show it to you, just so you get another extra little bit of wall building here. Alright, so let's go up top, and one higher than these pillars, which this pillar is 8 tall. And if we step down here, we're fine. And 1 2 by 2 window here. And we'll take a little damage, but that's okay. Feather falling is your friend. Which I also have unbreaking on these boots now, so they're pretty nice. And we'll fill it down to here. Now I need acacia really quick. We'll go ahead and throw this in here. 1 2. I know I'm going to put that way for the doorway, so there'll be a little bit of a space, and what I want to do is to do upside down above it, just to give it this cool little notched out effect. And we're going to also do the same thing we've done elsewhere with the clay and the stairs. So I'm going to do a little bit of fidgeting here on the bottom where I can actually reach. So it's really kind of just random how I want to do this here. I'm not really planning it out too much. I kind of want to do that the other way. I'll do something and then I'll look at it. Most of the time I like it. Let's see, we do upside down and right side up that way. Yeah, so we get the big chunk out of it. I like that. So this is where our doors are going to go eventually. I want jungle doors because they look pretty cool. but I haven't found any jungle yet. So we're going to go with spruce doors to keep with the theme of all the other doors that we've used in the tower over there. And they also look pretty good. It's just the jungle doors have a little bit of a window cut out in it, kind of like normal doors, just a different shape. So you can see out, whereas, you know, the spruce ones you don't. But that's okay, we don't need to see in and out of here too often. Alright, let's get some dirt and do some stuff up the rest of the wall here. The pillaring begins! Alright, first off, we're gonna go here, 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 and here, and do clay. Dig down a little bit, and we're gonna do here, a stair. And here, and we'll do other stairs. Let's do it the other way. Just so we get a couple chunks out of this wall. Head over here, and we're gonna do, what did I do down there? I did that kind of a chunk on the window. Let's just do one then. Ta-da! Alright, that will look pretty cool once we get a roof on here. And there's also kind of a little mini roof that goes in the middle, but we'll do that later. So that's kind of, you know, how that wall goes. We'll throw in, whoops, a door here. Let's put our coarse dirt back in. In case you were wondering, in this floor, it might be hard to see on the video, but I've got a mixture of coarse dirt and regular dirt in here. I've got coarse on the edges so the grass doesn't grow in. And eventually we're going to replace these with coarse dirt and stuff as well. But as you can see, this slightly darker is the coarse dirt, and the lighter is the regular dirt. So it's pretty cool. Eventually in here I'm going to have to do a little bit of funny design work, put some carpet down, so I've got some light in the floor so that keeps the lighting levels up so nobody spawns in here. But we'll put like brown carpet so it looks like the horses made a mess, or some yellow carpet so it looks like a bit of hay. Either way, it's a cool little way to hide it that's not super obtrusive, and it gives a little of detail interest to the floor as well, so it's not that big a deal. Why am I going to that side? That's not where my stuff is. Alright, so what we need to do is put a wall like this on the opposite end, and then we're going to start on the roof. So I am going to show you a bit of what the roof style is going to look like here, and then I will do some more work off camera and come back with you guys. But first, we need materials. Alright, so the cracked and the mossy stone bricks. If you're not paying attention to all of the new stuff in 1.8, which, hey, there's a lot, so I don't blame you, you can craft these now. You don't have to find them in a stronghold, which is very cool for people like me who like those bricks. You don't want to use the mossy and the cracked everywhere, but they do add some fun details if you're using stone brick in your builds. So how you do this is, for the mossy stone bricks, you just take a regular kind of stone brick block and you put a vine next to it in a crafting thing, and it will make mossy. And then the cracked ones, you just take regular ones and you put them into a furnace, and when they cook, they crack it because like all the heat cracked up the stones. So I think that's a cool way to do both of those, and it's just awesome they're craftable now. So these are kind of our detail blocks. Do I have any regular? So yeah, I've got plenty of regular so I can make more of other things if I want. Let's just get some of that here. So you may be wondering how this is gonna work. So we're gonna build this out over here so that you can see. Ooh. Good job pillaring there. So there's two at that level, and then one here. But if you'll notice, because of our walls, the walls here, you can't keep this at the same level because there's a block that goes away, and then it would be orange sticking down through the wall. So we can't have that, can we? No, we can't. So what we're going to do is put a slab here and then a slab on top. And you can't do anything different because of the way the blocks on it. But then these you can do full blocks. So we're going to do that. And apparently I misremembered we need another block in here to fill that gap from the floor. So put a couple slabs there, and where's my cracked? I want to use a cracked one. And And then we'll go back to the acacia. So the acacia starts down on the same level. Do 2 on that one, 2 on that one, and 1 there. And then let's step back and take a look. Whee, down we go. So yeah, the reason I need that extra block is that gap right there. So that's kind of the slope angled roof we've got going on. And it's got these extra parts in the middle that, in order to solve the problem of the wall sticking through, and either you'd have some stone texture showing through on your wall, or some acacia, either way, if you're just doing it the same type. But this gives the roof a little more interest. It gives it these stripes. We're going to do it every time there's a pillar here. There's going to be one of these stone dividers, and it's in another level, so it gives depth to the roof, and it's very interesting looking. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to continue this across here a little bit with you guys. So while we're building this kind of section of roof, I want to talk to you guys about other things I have been playing this fall. The fall time is crazy for video games. There's always tons of them coming out. Get my axe here. Oop. And there have been some good ones. I really kind of want to play Alien Isolation despite the problems that I've heard the game has, or issues anyway, nitpicks people seem to have with it, but they also say that it does the atmosphere very well. I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise, so I kind of want to check that one out at some point, but I haven't done it yet. Because, 1, I'm a little limited in my budget right now, but 2, I'm also limited in time, and I picked up a different game to play before Alien Isolation come out, of a franchise that I'm an even bigger fan of, Lord of the Rings. So if you guys have not seen anything on Middle-earth, the Shadow of Mordor game, that is what I'm going to talk about right now. It's like I can place that. I was in the way, I guess. Okay, whoops. Falling is not good. So you guys, this pressure plates are nice because it closes everything down for you automatically. Shush. I don't care about you, spider. You're interrupting story time. Shush. You have a power 4, flame 1, unbreaking 1 bow. It's pretty snazzy, and since we've got our skeleton grinder over there, we've got plenty of arrows to go with it, although I need to refill because I'm only at 6 right now. Alright, hopefully we won't fall off this time while I'm doing storytelling. Actually, for interest, we're going to throw one of these in here. Bam! How fun is that? So as you can see, this kind of breaks up the texture, and you kind of get the idea of where I'm going with that. Alright, for these other ones, I'm just going to put regular on here, so we can just go ahead and do that, so I don't have to do it as I go. Back to Shadow of Mordor. I've put in maybe, not 20 hours yet, but at least 50 to 20, somewhere in that range, into the game. And what you may not realize first starting out is there are 2 areas of the game. The one you see mostly in all the videos and promos and stuff, unless you're watching a Let's Play that gets further in, is the first area of how you think Mordor looks. It's all the decimated and gross terrain that's all beat up and torn down, kind of apocalyptic looking, because everything's all just gross and there's the word I was looking for. Anyway, the orcs make it all, defiled. That's a good word, too. I don't think of that a second ago, but there you go. So that's kind of the first area of the game. The second area of the game, which is a map that is just about the same size, there's a lot of area, is all very green. And it's kind of by the water, by kind of ocean there. And it looks a lot different, but there's still the same kind of areas, and it's a very good open world game. So what you're doing is you're running around, and it has kind of Batman style combat where you have counter buttons and you have regular attack, you have a stun attack, you can jump around over on top of people, leap over their heads unless they're got the ability to repel that and push you down. And you've got different enemy types that some you have to stun first and some that you have to kill by certain different ways, basically. do regular there since I've done others on the other side. I'm going to run out of acacia. That's okay. We can still finish it off. And so that's kind of it. And then it has a little bit of Assassin's Creed style climbing in the game. Although I think the regular movement on the ground is a lot like Batman, because you have sort of like a stealth button where you kind of half crouch and you walk around really quickly, almost like Batman. So mechanics-wise, it feels a lot like Batman. It's got quite a bit of sort of Assassin's Creed in it as well. Like, you have these tower things that you go and climb to the top of and hit a button, and then it will reveal some things on your map, just kind of like the Assassin's games do. So it definitely has borrowed elements from all of those. But the cool thing about the game is the Nemesis system, and it's just this weird little trick, really, of making just boring, stupid little enemies that in most games you wouldn't think twice about, and giving them a bit of a personality and giving you a reason to go after them. So there's this hierarchy of captains all the way up to war chiefs, and there's a separate screen where you can see them all and see relationships. And if you go and you encounter one of these captains in the open world, you can like kill them and their spot will be a vacuum and someone else will have to take its place. The cool thing is later in the game you get the ability to brand, basically is what they call it, and you force the orcs to be under your will, and so kind of like convert them to your side, basically, is what you're doing here. So when you do that, there's all these fun power struggles, and all of these captains have unique kind of properties. So some of them are, you know, immune to ranged attacks, or some of them are scared of a particular thing in the world, and so if you exploit their weaknesses and get around all their strengths, you know, that's how you defeat them. But you can also, you know, later in the game, again, this is kind of halfway through the story. I wish it showed up earlier because it's really cool. You can convert them to your side, and you can kind of get your own sort of stealth army within Sauron's army. And you're kind of trying to take over the place, and when you are fighting against some of the enemies, you can send some of the orcs that are yours and get these huge melee battles going on that are kind of crazy. It's a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend it for anyone who likes kind of open world games, especially if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and like that universe. They do a good job of capturing kind of the vibe of what it would be like running around Mordor as a dude who has died, but he can't completely die because he's been paired up with a wraith that's like a ghost or whatever of another person. So like every time you get killed in the game too, that's the cool thing, is like if one of these enemies kills you, they rank up and they taunt you the next time you find them. So it's a really cool way of investing you in this world and making you want to go back there and get them. Like, oh, they just defeated me, I'll get you next time, you know. And it's a cycle, and new ones come in if you kill other ones off, and you can promote your guys to get higher up in the army to get them in position to help you out for a big fight later on. And so it's a really, really cool system that gives it a nice twist to the open world game that is one of the newer things that we've seen in that genre in a while, other than just like, yo, go collect a lot of collectibles, because collecting collectibles is fun. Well, there's collectibles in this game too, and they're kind of cool. Some of the ones you pick up have little voice-recorded messages that kind of tell the story of how that item was lost or just something about it, which some of them are good, some of them are just whatever. But it's pretty cool that they have that in there. And then there's also collectibles you get to kind of upgrade your weapons, which is like a sword, a dagger, and a bow. So there's lots of fun stuff to discover in there. The story itself is okay. It's not a terrible story by any means, but it's mostly forgettable. I've got like 2/3 of the way through it. Story missions went out, and I've forgotten some of the stuff that happens. But it's still a really fun game to play. If it looks at all interesting to you, I suggest you try it out because it's really, really cool. So what we've done here is we finish off this roof. You guys have been looking at it and probably bored at it by now. I've been yammering away about a different video game. But that's kind of the look of how the roof goes. And we're going to add a wall kind of in between here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a roof on the top of that. And then we've also got a little bit of a roof that goes in between just as a stylistic thing. And that's pretty much the rest of the steps. That's right, you silly magic horse. Try to get out of this stables. I was finishing up the roof on this side, which I need to take my dirt pillar down here. Now that I don't need it for a bit. But I heard horse noises. I was like, that sounds close. I looked down and this guy was running around out here. So I went and grabbed a lead from over by the pen and dragged him and put him into a little pen here. We're going to have to move him about after we replace this dirt. Because digging with as a horse would be a little bit annoying, I'm sure. But I don't know how you guys keep magically getting out of your pen. I hope you like your new home better. But you're going to have to double up. Because there's not enough pens for everybody to have a single room. Alright? Is that gonna be okay? Stop being all like, you know, hard to get is not the right word. Just stop being cantankerous, alright? Just stop it. Alright, so time to move up here. I built the walls up in the middle over here that I hadn't done yet, and I finished the roofing on the other side. And let's get started. So with this wall here, it's a lot thinner. And let's start out by getting me some more dark oak. So we're going to run a row along this whole bottom, first up. And then we're going to get a wall here, and we're going to do a thing across the top. So what we're going to have here are some one-high windows that are 1 by 3 wide. Boop. And we want another one here, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and then doop. That is where the window is, size-wise. But we need to carve the wood out and put the note blocks like that. So it's kind of a cool look. I think that this little dark brown, reddish brown color in the middle here meshes very well with the other colors we are using. So when I was experimenting and creative a little bit on how I could add my own little personal touches to this design, this was one of the things I did. So let's do this further along. Now what I had done before in this is add the clay. Oh, I only have 10. Well, that's okay. We won't do tons of it. Oh, of course I did that, didn't I? We won't do tons of it. We'll just trap ourselves. Yeah, also, while I was gone, I was finishing up the little roof over here. This little tiny roof that I did not show you guys. I was going to add it on this side. I'd done it on that one. And a creeper came up and blew up part of this wall, so I had to fix it. Luckily, everything was okay. Alright, let's put you there. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. And 1 there, and 1 there. And fill that in, and this does not get seen a lot, but it will be cool to have just a little detail on here. So we'll put 1, 2, 3 over the top of that window. Let's put some on. Oh, hello, rain. I thought maybe I was going to get away with not having any rain here. Let's see, we'll just do 2. Because what's going to happen here is we're going to have a roof layer right here, I believe. Yes, that is where it is. So this is kind of how a roof goes here. We'll replace that later with the stone the same way we have elsewhere. But this is kind of the shape of it, although we got to fill in on the underneath side a little, which I will show you in a second here. Scaffolding in the rain. Alright, here we go. Fill in the bottom to make it just a bit thicker, which we have done with this thing below as well. So I will step back and show you what that looks like in a minute, guys, although I think maybe I should stop the rain. Oh, I should have brought my bed out here, but it's still in the tower. Bloop. There we go. And because of how this goes, it will continue back that way. Oof. I don't know what's going on, but this is killing my frame rate. Stupid rain. Recording and rain all too much for you, computer. Come on. Alright, quickly, hopefully you guys can see. Maybe I'll show you again later. This is how the roof kind of looks on this side. So what I'm going to do is I am going to continue building. I'm going to add the other wall on the other side with the other windows with the note block and stuff. And I will finish off the roof because you guys kind of got the idea of that for now. And then we'll come back in and do a little finishing touches on the inside here. Alright everyone, we are back safe and sound inside our newly roofed stables building. I've gone ahead and replaced all of the dirt in the pens with a mixture of the coarse dirt and the regular dirt. Coarse dirt blocking off all the ways that the grass could grow inside here, and we're looking pretty nice. Oops, I gotta close that off. However, I've had at least 4 now dive bomb creeper attacks. So I went ahead and put a bunch of torches on the roof. Even though it doesn't look as nice, it will help save our building because I've had to fix it a bunch here. So it took me longer to get back here when I was recording, but for you guys, whatever. It is short. So what these are here is what I mentioned before. I put some lighting in the floor. I do not have brown wool, so this is going to be some spilled hay. And what we're going to do here is add a little bit of hay in some of these stalls. What we're going to do in a few cases here is make it look like there's, it's empty a little bit. So we don't use as much hay, and I don't know, it just looks cool because it's variety. I'm definitely going to need more trapdoors, so let's, instead of going outside, let's just make some here. That will make us 10 more, why not? Alright, we got one in there. Now what I can do is I can go back to the house and get some iron and put some cauldrons out here. That looks kind of cool, but I don't want to do that just yet because I need to see how much we're ready for the horses in here. So I don't want to pile it up with too many things. And, let's say some of your less cool horses, they don't get as much hay, so they only get 2 blocks size of bin here. Same here, we'll do a 2-block one, but it will be partially filled. So yeah, the reason these have to be in here is because we're going to put ladders here in a minute, and so we can't have those torches that were there, so it needs to light up the floor so that the block light is good. Otherwise, it's like 6 or so right here, which is like mob spawn central. It has to be like above 7 if I remember correctly. So that is why we have it that way. It's just kind of random. I would do brown, but I don't have any again, so that is why we're using that color. The yellow matches with the hay pretty well. Actually, maybe we will do it that way. Whatever. That looks nice. And what we're going to do eventually is we're going to have a thing up here. We'll put more hay. We just don't have it right now. Let's see. I've done all of those. Just you, as I see, I've moved him over when I was digging around. And when I went out this gate here, you didn't tell me there was a creeper. So that's why you got hurt. So no blaming me. You get in the corner. And we will do it here. 1, 2, 3. Wait, no. No, we won't. We only have 3 trapdoors left, so forget that. And there we go. We got our kind of stalls all decorated. I put torches again up here for lighting. It's a little overkill, but it looks kind of nice. I've also done it on the outsides of the buildings with nice torches. So we have plenty of light going all the way around outside when it is nasty dark and mobs are about. Alright, let's see if I can remember exactly where I have to place these, but we're going to put the upper level here so that we can place blocks on it, so that will be a regular floor. And then we need this. And we put one here for overlap purposes. And then there's a gap here for the floor. So then we're going to fill this in with spruce, just to look a little different here. I need to double check where that lines up with. Where does that go? That lines up with the block in front of that. So this stair here is how far it goes. Ta-da! And we're going to do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3. Out from the log. You don't have to put that log in there, but I like the way that it looks from down here. That just another thing of, another layer, basically, to how the walls and stuff look. So that is why I did that. After we've got our stake here, get our couple of acacia extras. 1, 2, and 3 for the overlap. And I did the spruce 1 too short, didn't I? There we go. That is kind of our walls situation. I need to get some dark oak stairs from outside. The reason we're doing that is so we have a little bit of storage in here just for fun. Funsies. And because we have half slabs over it, they still open. It makes it slightly cramped feeling in here, but I like it. It's an adaptation of finding a place to put these. I might actually, I don't remember if item frames will stop it. Yeah, they will. So I can't put it there where the torches are. That's why I chose that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then trapdoor. Whoops, that's right. I have to put it on the other side. So we put it here, here, so that when they open up like that. So place it on that edge. So that way you can still go up and down the stairs. It's a little tricky. You kind of have to back up to the side where the trapdoor is, but it works. And that way it closes it all off. You have to do a little hopping to get off the ladder because of where it stops. But now we have kind of an upper floor here. Unfortunately, it also needs some light that we did not have yet. I don't think that's quite enough. Let's check real quick. This is what I do when I'm like, see 7 right here in this corner? Not so good. So I'll probably put a torch here and a torch here just to light it up. And later we're going to stack some hay so you can kind of see some hay through the windows outside. So we got to make sure it's all lit up. These 4 I'm going to make nice and fancy. What you need is your item frames. Jump! There you go. Sometimes it doesn't want to jump. I don't know why. I was holding spacebar. Come on, Minecraft. Work with me. So item frames on all of those. And then for our purposes, there's many things you can put in here that make it nice design that looks like a brace or something. But we have been using the stairs because we can rotate them at a different angle now so that they are nice and pointy down like a cool triangle. So that's why I liked that particular choice. You can also do like fences look really nice in there. Slabs will look good for like a straight line. Pretty cool. Like sometimes if you use, if you have plenty of iron, sometimes if you use an anvil in there, you can get some cool looks. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, survival isn't necessarily the best place to use that because you need iron for other things. So here is our problem. These doors you can't see out of. That is why I want to find jungle and replace it with a jungle door because it's got kind of like a vertical slat. So if there's any creepers out here, you're not running into something. It's like, oh. So let's go ahead and close these doors and let's close out this episode. I don't know, I've been doing it in pieces, so it's a little bit weird and I don't know exactly until I'm done editing. Let's get away from the sheep. But I'm thinking this will be a little bit longer episode. I hope you guys enjoy the building of our stables here. Our Horsies friends will have a home now that's a little better than that you keep escaping out of. I don't blame you. I don't know how you have a rabbit in there. Maybe it spawned in there. I have no idea. Whatever. You can stay outside, Mr. Bunny Rabbit. Only Horsies in this new house. So yeah, that's kind of the overall look of it. You can see all the torches I put up there on kind of the just placeable surfaces. That's the only problem with this roof design. It is not mob safe. So you kind of have to light it up. I'm fine with it, so I hope you guys are too. It still looks nice and pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next episode. And we'll find something new to build or explore something. I don't know. I haven't planned it yet. So if you guys have something you want me to do, then let me know in the comments and maybe I'll, next episode, that's what I'll get up to. I want to do stuff that you guys enjoy. So let me know. Enough rambling from me. We will see you in the next episode.